This maybe relates to a few different things I've been talking about. I don't know, but this is something this is a development I'm very, very, very interested in. And that I think a lot of people should be very interested in. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's an interesting thing. I think we have to see what happens before it goes down. But Scott Thiel, I think, is one of the most important players in the ecosystem. Scott Thiel obviously was at DLA Piper and, governing council, board member, day one, right? Like Scott Thiel is really like through and through an original Hedera executive, a Hedera governing council member, Hedera board member, and has been involved in so many different key decisions. And, I think that a lot of people in the community are very favorable to Scott Thiel and kind of what he works on. I was disappointed. I was at the Hedera booth in Denver this year for ETH Denver, and Scott Thiel was hanging around the booth, and I didn't get a chance to chat with him. Of course, like he was talking to a bunch of people, so I didn't get a chance to chat with him, which I regret. But Scott Thiel has left TOKO. He's resigned from TOKO. And for people unfamiliar, TOKO was a spinoff from DLA Piper that is focused on, again, tokenized securities. They're a very robust platform. And so for a lot of people, this was kind of a shock, and this was literally just, very recently and it went through my radar. And I think it went through a lot of people's radar. But Scott Thiel, no longer at TOKO, no longer, no longer anywhere except the board on Hedera. So that's interesting to me. And I think that a few people go, well, if he's no longer at DLA Piper and no longer at TOKO, like how is he on the board? And we have to remember that the Hedera board does have independent members that aren't on the governing council. So that's one thing. And so, of course, the initial, reaction to this is like, well, are we losing Scott now? Like, what's going on? And I find the last section of this LinkedIn post from Scott to be enlightening. There's this here. He says he's at Meterium. I don't know what that is exactly. But I'm going to try to take some time to dive into this. And it's powered by TOKO, DLA Piper, and Hedera. Okay, already a bit of a sign of relief, right? Scott's new thing is powered by Hedera, so that's a bit of a breath here. And okay, I see the word NFT. Okay, I'm liking this. I see a metaverse thing, artwork. Okay, I don't know. It's a very well made website, very polished. Let's look at the About Us page. So this is just one page. Okay, contact. Scott, where are you? So that's very interesting. So Scott Thiel is on my radar. He's got a new startup, clearly leveraging Hedera, and we'll have to kind of see. And so this Meterium project, we create cutting-edge tokenized marketplaces and immersive digital experiences, allowing you to generate new and ongoing revenue streams and expand your community. So stuff we've seen before that has failed. But again, I'm a Scott Thiel fan. I'm excited to see what goes on. And he says specifically, watch this space to see what happens. So, this is very interesting. Again, this isn't something that's like in the wheelhouse of the news tips that were shared with me, but this is another thing where I go, okay, did not have this in my cards, and this is very interesting. So I encourage people to, keep an eye on Scott Thiel and see what those developments are about. The other thing I want to talk about, we're almost through it here, guys. Really big show today. Appreciate everyone hanging around. This is a great crowd. Shout out to Tata listening. I also see No Man's Internet.HBAR listening. Shout out to you, literally sharing the show every week. Appreciate you. Tudor, good to see you. Paul, let's go. Good to see everybody. Yeah, lots of folks here. I love it. I want to talk about VR Jam.